Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd come on board this Sunday for another sit down, just a short one. A few things I'd like to show you and talk about this Sunday. I hope you're having a really nice day, and whenever you catch this, Sunday or not, I hope you have a good week. I've got my coffee at the ready as usual. It is another blend from Taylor's of Harrogate in Yorkshire. And very nice it is too, as usual. Lots of chocolatey tones to it, which I like very much. Now, I've got a couple of things I'm quite excited to show you. I don't know if you remember, but I got this little World War One. Oop, and the mirror's just fallen down. There we are, got this little World War One khaki set a little while ago. I got the case and paid a little bit for the case. I was very pleased because even though the case came on its own, it was in very nice condition indeed. That is the back side of the mirror, and there we are, we have the mirror polished piece of metal, and I've just stuck the little piece of material down there just to hold it in its nice position. But of course what I didn't have was a razor or a blade holder. Now I've managed to get the correct blade holder. It's very nice on one side. It is slightly brassed on the other side, but nothing to worry about. Has the Gillette logo on the top, if you can see there. That is the right size. Some of them are slightly larger at the top and the bottom end, and they don't fit in this case. I didn't realise they were actually different types made, but of course it makes sense. Now, I got a little shout out from Chris, who informed me that a French seller on eBay was selling a World War One property of a US Army razor that fitted with this case, and here it is here. There is a little brassing on the top, very mild, you can't see it, but it kind of discolours the metal slightly. Few little scratches here and there, but I'm really pleased to have got this. Great shout out to let me know. I don't know if you'll be able to see in the light. The light's a bit odd today. But it says there, property of the US Army. And on the other side of the guard plate, it says J1067. So this is a genuine military razor issued by the United States military to fit in this khaki set, and I think it's safe to say that I am chuffed to bits, and I'm going to have a shave with this coming up. I normally do, as you know, a remembrance shave, but I can't wait till November to do a remembrance shave, so I think I'm going to shave with this in April, which is when the Congress in the United States in 1917 declared war on Germany. It came about, I believe, and I would have to check this, it came about because of the sinking of a Cunard passenger ship, the Lusitania, in, I believe, 1915. But I'll have to double check that. But that That ship was sunk by a German U-boat, and I imagine that U-boats were much later than World War One. It makes me wonder how they worked, whether were they steam powered. I've got to look into that because it's quite intriguing. It surely can't be steam powered, but I know right up until the 1930s the big passenger ships that were crossing the Atlantic were all steam powered, and in fact there was a special race, wasn't there? So lots of very interesting stuff there to look into, but oops, but there, God, I'm not doing very well, am I, today? Let me hold everything in place. There is my khaki set. It even has on the lid khaki set. There's a little bit, you can see a little bit of rust coming through from the metal of the case, but of course that's normally hidden by the mirror. I think this is fascinating. This is, well, it's got to be 1917, 1918, when the American troops really went into the Western Front, and I can't believe it. And the razor, of course, came from France, so it is entirely likely that it was taken to France by an American soldier, an American GI. Although, well, it's just fascinating. So that is my little complete set now. I'll pick the mirror up later. But chuffed to bits with that, honestly, chuffed to bits. Now I've got a razor to show you that I received recently. It was from a gentleman called Michael Fulkerson in Ohio, USA, and he sent me a Darwin razor. Not that one. This is the Darwin, let me show you, hollow ground safety razor. I've got the original instruction booklet that comes with it. There's a little picture of the Fitzwilliam Works in Sheffield, England, where these were made. There we are, and interestingly enough, in this one, if I can find the right page at the back, it says the distributing agents for Canada are Lyman Agencies Limited in Montreal, and the sole manufacturer is Darwin's Limited, Sheffield, England. It's a really interesting razor. This is the universal set, because there were two types made. The universal set was chromium plated, and the deluxe set has a stainless steel case. Can you see the etching on that? It's absolutely fabulous, isn't it? A bit of patent information there. That says, turn it the right way around, patented in England and abroad, and this is the French patent number. It works much like the Rolls razor. I nearly said Rolls Royce there. That's something quite different, but there's a little button at the end and the lid pops up, as you can see. Now there we have the razor inside with a spare blade in the lid. Very, very clever this is. It's a little bit posher than the Rolls razor, the razor itself comes out and looks like that initially. And at first you think, well, how does that work? Well, it unscrews, and then as you turn it around and screw it into the base, you have what looks like a more recognisable razor. This part has a little spring under it, so the blade, as we'll see shortly, is held firmly in place by this piece of metal here, but there is a screw in the base, and as you tighten the screw it goes through the razor blade and presses on this guard bar, and as it pushes it down just slightly it increases the blade gap, because obviously the blade itself stays firmly in place. I've had a shave with this, and I'm very much looking forward to shaving with it on camera. It's a fabulous little thing. I've never seen one of these before. Now, I was saying about the razor blade having a screw in it. They have made a little screwdriver that screws into the bottom of the handle, and there it is. And I think it's a fabulously clever bit of kit. What interests me is that this was created in 1928 by a German fellow, a naturalised German-born citizen called Paul Kuhnrich. Kuhnrich is probably the correct pronunciation, or something a bit nearer. And he designed and developed this, and they were in use right up until about 1953. Now, we all know that double-edged safety razors were around long before 1953, but I think razors like this remained popular because people didn't have much money back then. You know, the economy was entirely different to now, and I think people thought it was strange to throw away a razor blade when they could buy one that you could resharpen. I think that is the single reason why razors like this remained popular right up until the 1950s. Let me show you. This is clever. Let me pop that over there. I cut myself really badly. I'll show you how. So the set comes with two blades, and there's a spare one kept in the lid here. Now, what's clever is that there is a hole in the edge of the razor blade. If I push that through that way, you can see that the handle screws into the razor blade, and you can pull out the spare blade. Now, that spring clip that holds that in place is really quite tight. So I screwed the handle in, as you saw me do, and I went to gently pull it, and nothing happened. So holding it like this, I moved my hand down and took a firmer hold and gave a really firm yank on the handle. Of course, the razor blade flew out and sliced right through the top of my thumb from the back through to the nail. And lesson learned, we won't be doing that again. But what's interesting is that the second blade is on the strop there, and when I pull this part out slightly, it lifts the blade up, and I can then turn that around tilt it, screw in the handle and take the razor blade out, and you can see there the little screw in the razor blade. It's a fantastic thing. Michael did a brilliant job as well, because I've got it here. These blades have been finished on a 12K Naniwa stone and stropped with various grits and finished with a 30K diamond paste. So they are shave ready. They do shave differently from a modern safety razor blade, and you can see as I pull this part of the base, and there's some more patent information there for England and Canada, but you can see as I pull that and go back up, the blade flips and it's dropped on a piece of leather. Now what's really nice is, on this case, that bottom plate comes out and there is a coarse and a fine side, so you can it's really, really clever. I love this. I love it. It's so Michael, thank you very much indeed for this. I'm going to be showing this off either on the next Friday shave or the one after that. I've something that I've bought very recently. I've put it on the community page for the YouTube Friendship Shaving channel, so you can have a look at that. I've got that coming in the post. I'm rather excited about that as well. So the Darwin hollow ground razor set will be shown off very shortly, and I'll have a shave with that, and so will my little travel kit that I've bought. So let me put the razor back together and put that away to keep it safe, because I do drop things, as you've seen during this shave. I seem to have just been left with that since I had meningitis. You know, I fumble things quite a lot. There we are, and the lid closes down. Now, that's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Look at that. I absolutely love this. I've got the original box with it as well, which I've got over here. So we'll just pop that in its box with the instructions and keep that very safe. Now I've got just one more thing to show you recently, and I've never seen these before either. I've got some soap samples of Martin de Condra soap, and they were sent by my good friend Sven. Oh, that's nice. You might be surprised at these. These big envelopes, if I catch the light right, these are the soap samples. So I've got the rose. That is really strong smelling. Sealed up. I don't have to hold it to my nose. That's really strong, the rose. So I've got the rose, something called Nature, and to be honest, all I'm really getting from that is the rose, until I open it up. Got the vetiver, which I have a sample of that, and you know I love that one. I love the vetiver. I've got the agrumes, the lemon, which I'll be really looking forward to using, because as you know, I like a lemon scented soap very much indeed. And I've got the original, which I gather is kind of a rosemary and lavender type scent. It's not an obvious sweet lavender, something slightly different. Now, as you open this envelope, there it says, let me tell you what it says. I can't, it says it in French, but there it is, I think it's 8 to 10 shaves in this envelope. And when you open it up, there is a sheet of paper, and it's pretty big. I mean, I'm not going to open it much further than that, but you can see that that opens out again each side. And on that, look, you can see there's the soap sample. So I think you must have to cut this to the size that you like, and I think that paper smells a bit odd, but the soap smells lovely. So I think you cut it to the size you want. It's similar to baking paper, but it's not quite the same, I don't think. It's not as crinkly as baking paper. It's a good deal softer, so I don't quite know what this is made of. I'm going to put that away because I don't want to spill little pieces of soap everywhere, which I'm already doing. You see, it's you can't see on the video, but I've got little tiny pieces of soap all over me. So I thought I would show you that, and because I've never seen anything like that before, I'm going to have to look on the Martin de Condra website to see if it shows you what to do with that. I'm unsure whether to scrape the soap from the paper and put that in a bowl, but then you'll just have little tiny bits of soap floating around the bowl, or whether to actually load my brush from the paper itself. I feel that's the thing to do, but I'm not 100% sure. So in case you've never seen one of those before like me, that is the Martin de Condra shaving soap sample that you get, and what a strange thing it is indeed. I suppose the good thing about this is it just goes in your letterbox, doesn't it? You know, you don't have to have a box, or you don't have to be at home to make sure you're in for the postman. It's a clever idea, so thank you as well to Sven, and once again to Michael and Chris for getting me my my original razor. Thank you guys, thank you very much. But I'm going to use one of these soap samples on my next shave for definite, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Now, that's it for today. I'm going to just finish my coffee, the last mouthful, and I hope you enjoyed this little sit down. It is great to have something interesting to talk about. I think a couple of things that I've got today are really fascinating, and as I say, I can't wait to use this Darwin hollow ground safety razor. Fabulous. And I do know, because I've been had a little message with Dan from Vintage Life. Now Dan has got both sets, the stainless steel set and the chromium plated set, so I'll be interested, Dan, to see what the stainless steel set looks like, and yeah, looking forward to that. So that's my lot, guys. I'll see you for a normal shave at the usual time. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you around. All the best now. Bye bye.